Matthew chapter 5, verse 22, Jesus says, whoever says you fool is liable to the hell of fire. And then in Matthew chapter 23, verse 17, he himself calls the scribes and the Pharisees, you blind fools. So it's Jesus contradicting himself. Is he saying one thing in another one in one place and then doing the exact opposite in another? No. You need to understand the context of the teaching of Matthew chapter 5, verse 22. This was the place where Jesus was trying to explain to them that, look, if you hate your brother and you carry anger and hatred and malice against them, it's almost similar to committing these actions physically. So do not say because the law regulates what I do physically, therefore it cannot regulate what I think. But if in that state of anger, you open your mouth and you tell your brother, you fool, then you are doing what? You are condemning them spiritually and morally and saying that they are worthless before God. Mind you, in those days, to say somebody was not wise is to say do not possess the presence of God in their life, because God was considered the source of wisdom. And that was why the Proverbs talks about the fear of God being the beginning of wisdom. So for you to say, tell somebody, you fool, in that state of anger, you are what? You are condemning them, their existence, totally speaking. And when you go back to Matthew chapter 23, verse 17, right? What Jesus is doing is what we call making a statement of fact. Because Jesus is God, and so he can see the extent of their lack of what? The presence of wisdom in their lives. But if you make that same statement in the state of anger, as described in Matthew chapter 5, verse 22, you are doing something totally different. It's condemnation, it's judgment. Jesus is rebuking them that they might turn from their wayward way of life to a life of wisdom, right? It's just like also when you talk about the fact that God cannot kill, God takes away lives if he wants, because that is his to take and his to give. But then when you do the same thing, it's called what? Murder, because it's not your own and you do not have that right. So are the two verses clashing? No. Is Jesus contradicting himself? No.